When you think of superpowers, you probably think of flying or running faster than a speeding bullet. But some of our fellow humans have some awesome abilities that even the Avengers might envy. Check out these 18 amazing people with real superpowers. Daniel Tammet, Mastermind. This British autistic savant can perform eye-watering mathematical calculations at breakneck speeds. And while other such savants can perform similar feats, Mr. Tammet is able to tell you exactly how he arrived at his solution. An accomplished author, he speaks 7 languages and is even devising his own. Many experts feel that his amazing abilities might help to eventually unlock the many mysteries of autism. Harold Williams, 58 languages. A polyglot is defined as someone who knows and is able to effectively use several languages. That definition certainly applies to Harold Williams. The New Zealand native was said to be fluent in 58 languages, including Romanian, Turkish, Mandarin Chinese, Tagalog, Egyptian, and Hittite, among many others. Amazing as that ability is, though, Williams shared the gift with several others, notably Giuseppe Caspar Mezzofanti, an Italian cardinal who spoke more than 30 languages. Claudio Pinto, Popeyes. To make an X-Man analogy, Claudio Pinto might be a real-life counterpart to Cyclops. Mr. Pinto is a guy from Brazil who looks normal enough until he pops his eyes out of their sockets. It's said he can extend those orbs for about 7 millimeters, which is about 95% of the human eyeball. If he was a superhero, evildoers would probably be too shocked to fight back. Tibetan Monks. Body temperature. Known as Garth monks, these devotees have the power to alter their body temperatures using only the powers of their mind. Using a type of yoga called Gi-Tumo, they can warm their bodies through meditation. A Harvard study of the monks has confirmed that they are capable of changing their temperature by some 8 degrees Celsius. The Real Wolfman. Jesus Aceves of Mexico comes from a family that exhibits, to a degree, the rare medical condition of hypertrichosis, a condition which causes hair to grow in abnormal amounts on the body. Because of all that hair on his face, it makes him look like the Wolfman. Jesus has been able to make a good living traveling around the world with the Circus of Horrors in the United Kingdom. Electric Man. Ma Xiangang has an ability that not many people would want. He apparently can touch live wires that contain enough voltage to kill a normal human being. Yet this man experiences no pain or injury. It's said that he can now control the voltage in his body to the extent that he can perform electrotherapy and massage on others. XRay Vision. That's a power we normally associate with Superman, but a woman in Russia is believed by many to possess a similar type of power. Identified as Natasha Demkina, she can use her enhanced vision to identify diseases by scanning through the bodies of her patients. She's been performing readings in Russia since she was 10 and was the subject of a documentary on the Discovery Channel called The Girl with the X-Ray Eyes. Stephen Wiltshire, Photographic Memory. There might be many artists who can create dazzling pictures of cityscapes, but not many can create a minutely detailed image like Stephen Wiltshire can. All he needs is a quick look, and he can produce an illustration that is fully detailed and accurate. Frequently, he creates these works after taking a helicopter ride over the city. He once produced a 19-foot long, or 5.8 meter, drawing that depicted 305 square miles, or 790 square kilometers, of New York City after a 20-minute helicopter ride there. The RealLife Rain Man. You might remember the classic 1988 film Rain Man, featuring Dustin Hoffman as an autistic savant. The real-life inspiration for Hoffman's Oscar-winning role was a man named Kim Peek, who was known as a mega savant. With his photographic memory, it's said that he memorized more than 12,000 books, with a recall rate of nearly 100%. Experts think that a congenital birth defect was responsible for Peek's extraordinary memory capacity. The Rubber Boy. In comic books, a popular superpower has been hyper-elasticity, where the character can stretch their limbs into unlikely shapes. Plastic Boy and the Fantastic Four's Reed Richards, or Mr. Fantastic, are examples. The Rubber Boy isn't the strongest superhero name, but it does belong to a real-life guy named Daniel Browning Smith, who is credited as being the most flexible man of all time. He has 7 Guinness records to prove it. Classically trained as a contortionist, Mr. Smith actually owes his flexibility to a rare medical disorder that causes loose joints and stretchy skin. Magnet Man. Lu To Lin was a man in Malaysia who was known for his ability of having metallic objects stick to his body. Apparently, by using his willpower, he could command metal objects weighing more than 4 pounds, or 1.8 kilograms, to adhere to his skin. He was said to have demonstrated this ability by pulling a car towards him. FYI, we couldn't validate that claim, but it does sound like a real-life Magneto. Experts said that Lin's ability had little to do with outright magnetism, however. They claimed that high levels of friction on his skin created a type of suction effect. He passed away in 2013. Velu R, Teeth of Steel. While King Tooth is not the name of a dentist, it does apply to a fellow in Malaysia named Velu R. His unusual superpower involves chomping down on a steel rope and then pulling 2 commuter trains using only the power of his teeth, jaws, and anything else in his oral arsenal. Guinness has actually verified this stunt as the heaviest train pulled by teeth. The coach weighed in excess of 570,000 pounds, or 261 metric tons, and Velu R managed to pull it nearly 14 feet, or 4.3 meters. He must have had amazing dental hygiene. Tim Cridland, Accelerated Healing Factor. While Tim Cridland doesn't possess adamantium claws, he does seem to possess a healing factor comparable to Wolverine's. He's known for demonstrations of sliding huge skewers through his body and letting them plunge deep into his muscle tissue. During the gruesome displays, he doesn't appear to bleed or to experience pain, but he does rapidly heal afterwards. Cridland makes no claims of mutant superpowers, though. According to him, genetics play no part in his abilities. Rather, he uses mind techniques to divert his thoughts away from the pain he's experiencing. Ben Underwood, Echolocation. When he was diagnosed with retinal cancer at age 2, Ben Underwood's eyes were removed a year later. By the age of 5, he was able to teach himself echolocation, the process similar to what bats and other animals use as a navigational system. In this type of human echolocation, Underwood was able to use a series of clicks with his tongue to detect the locations of various objects. Experts said he was one of the most gifted human echolocators they had ever encountered. Superman of Stamina. Dean Karnassus possesses a power that would be envied by many of us, and by many superheroes. He has the gift of superhuman endurance. The ultra-marathon runner has accomplished feats, including running on a treadmill for 80 hours straight. That's the equivalent of running 350 miles, or 563 kilometers. And he earned that title as an ultra-marathon by participating in 50 marathons in 50 states over 50 consecutive days. Because his muscles seldom tire, he can stay physically active day after day without stopping to rest or sleep. The Iceman. Wim Hof wasn't named for the character in the X-Men, but he does share a key similarity with his comic book counterpart. Wim has a tolerance for the extreme cold that is uncanny. Among his frigid feats are climbing 22,000 feet, or 6,706 meters, of Mount Everest wearing nothing but his shorts and shoes. And one of his 26 world records includes the world's longest ice bath, clocked in at 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 48 seconds. Hof has claimed he can control his bodily thermostat through concentration. When researchers tested him, they found that Hof could indeed control his autonomic nervous system through meditation and concentration. Some of his method involves the Tumo practice, used by Tibetan monks that was mentioned earlier. The Matrix Man. There's a fellow in Japan named Isao Machi who is extremely skilled using a katana or sword, and he has such amazing superhuman reflexes that he can use his katana to peel an orange or to cut an airsoft pellet in half. When such an object is fired at speeds approaching 160 feet a second or 49 kilometers a second, that's too fast for the human eye to even register. Yet Machi is able to pinpoint the tiny object and cleave it in twain with his sword. It sounds like everything is slowed down for him, kind of like the bullet time effect in The Matrix. But some experts say it's less about Machi seeing the objects in motion and more about him anticipating their exact location with uncanny accuracy. Number 1. Gary Stretch Turner. This sideshow performer from the UK more than earns his nickname. Gary Turner's skin is so loose and pliable that he can transform his stomach into a table, which can support 3 pints of beer. His hyperelastic skin is the result of a rare genetic disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which has actually weakened his skin. That results in Mr. Turner being able to stretch his epidermis into any manner of shapes, several of which are unsettling to say the least. In 1999, he set the current Guinness record for the world's stretchiest skin. Thanks for watching this episode. Did you like the video? Tell us what you think in the comments below, and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.